Hey second graders, Ms. Jersky here, ready to go over day 7 with you. So hope you're having a great day so far. We're going to go ahead and get started, jump right in with that morning work. Remember, that's the same packet we started yesterday, same sheet, and we're going to be using it all week this week. So let's jump right in, and we've got homophones again today, which remember, homophones are those two words that sound alike, maybe spelled alike, but have different meanings. Our example today, it's. They are spelled the same. One has an apostrophe, one does not, which changes the meaning completely. So the first it's with no apostrophe s, used in a sentence by itself, that would be like a possessive pronoun. The dog looks for its bone in the backyard. It is referring to the dogs, showing possession of his bone. But you remember yesterday when we pretended to be ninjas, which, oh, don't worry, we're going to do that again today. Yes. We've got a contraction here with that apostrophe s. This it's would be like it is. It is cold outside. It is warm outside. So is it going to be it's a bright sunny day today, a possessive pronoun belonging to someone, or the contraction it is a bright sunny day today? So that shows us that it fits a little better for the apostrophe s, the contraction. Okay, let's think about the meaning of the underlined word here, enormous. Dinosaurs were enormous creatures. Well, thinking about what I already know about dinosaurs, most of them were pretty big, so I can infer that they're probably not mostly tiny, even though some might have been. They might have been pretty. I don't really know, but I can infer based on what I already know about dinosaurs and the word enormous that it means that they're very large. All right, get your ninja headbands ready, and we're going to turn in to our contraction choppers again. So ready, 3, 2, 1, hi-ya! Our contraction, I'm, used in a sentence, I'm not going to get up today, would be I and am. Okay? Next contraction, he's, 3, 2, 1, hi-ya! He's looking for his book. He is. And then finally, she'll. This is a tricky one. 3, 2, 1, hi-ya! When we slice it and we get she will. She'll be there in a minute. She will be there in a minute. All right, last one, we're going to choose a possessive pronoun for this sentence. Blank car was really cool. Let's plug all 3 of these choices in and see which one sounds the best. Your car was really cool. You's car was really cool. Or your, as in you are, because it's a contraction, you are car was really cool. Well, I think we all know it's going to be A. Your car was really cool. That's the only one that fits and makes sense. All right, moving on over here to this clock. Let's have a look at what time it is here. So remember how we kind of reviewed this briefly last week. You've got the hour and the minute hand. Now the hour word is shorter than the word minute, which is longer. So we can infer, we'll use what we know about those words and the hour hands to know that the shorter one here is the hour and the longer one there is the minute. Now I'm going to start with the minute hand because it's pointing directly at a number. So I can know for sure what the minutes are on my clock right now. We count by 5, so we're going to start 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So the minutes shown are 35 because it's pointing directly at the 7. Now, if you look at this hour hand, I'm going to draw a little dotted line here. It's in between the number 6 and the number 7. Since it's already past the number 6, but has not quite reached the number 7, our hour is still going to be 6. So the space between two numbers when they're represented as hours belongs to the smaller number. This would be the 2 o'clock hour. This would be the 3 o'clock hour. This space would be the 4 o'clock hour, and so on. So since I haven't quite reached the 7 o'clock hour yet, my hour is still going to be 6. It's a little confusing when it's between the two, but with practice, you'll get it. All right. With 79 minus 73, I'm sure several of y'all did that in your head mentally. 9 minus 3 gives us 6, and 7 minus 7 is 0, of course. And then 84 plus 14 4 plus 4 gives us 8. 8 plus 1 gives us 9. 98. All right, moving on over. It asks us, which unit would you use to tell how long a school bus is? We did this, something really similar to this last week, you remember? And let's think about these units, first of all. A centimeter, that would be about the distance between this side of my pinky to this side of my pinky. That's about 1 centimeter. I really don't want to have to measure a whole school bus with my pinky. That would take me forever, wouldn't it? And an inch, remember I showed you, was about that distance between the top of your thumb to the knuckle of your thumb. I don't think I'm wanting to measure a school bus with that either. And then a meter, which is really close to a yard, just a little bit longer, would be about the width of our classroom door or about the height of our iPad cart. Now, of those 3 units, a meter is definitely bigger. And since I'm measuring something as big as a school bus, I want to use my biggest unit possible. Okay, next is asking, got a word problem, ready? Ben pulled 2 $1 bills, a quarter, a dime, 4 nickels, and 10 pennies from his piggy bank. How much does Ben have? So, I like to draw pictures when I'm dealing with money. So I've got my 2 $1 bills. Now let's focus on our coins really quickly. So 1 quarter. I know a lot of you have already seen this video and heard this song with your teachers before. But if your parents can get you on YouTube and search Coin Rap. I know it sounds crazy, but Coin Rap. It's a really catchy song that's really beneficial in helping students remember the value of each coin. It goes, a penny is 1, a nickel is 5, a dime is 10, and a quarter is 25. It's really catchy and helps students be able to remember the value. So remember, a quarter's 25, so I can write that down. 1 dime, a dime is 10. 4 nickels, a penny is 1, a nickel is 5. And I'm not going to draw 10 pennies because I know that 10 pennies at 1 each would be just 10. So I'm going to draw it like that. Okay, so let's count on to add up our coins. So 25 plus 10 is going to give me 35. 35 plus 5 is going to give me 40. 40 plus 5 is going to give me 45. 45 plus 5 more, 50. 50 plus 5 is 55. And 55 plus 10 is 65. So just to go back and double check, 25, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 65. I've got 65 cents in coins. I've got $2 in bills. So my total amount of money that Ben has is $2. Don't forget that decimal. And 65 cents. Just going to double check and make sure we're still rocking and rolling recording and you can see that okay. Awesome. All right, I'm going to get this erased. And while I'm doing that, you can go ahead and get your next sheet out, the context clues sheet, which is similar to one we've done last week, where we're going to use the context or the words and sentences in the story to become mystery detectives to find out what those unknown words mean. Okay, so let's have a look here. We've got this passage is called A New Discovery. And it says, Jerry was a botanist, which means he studied and learned about plants. He went on trips all over the world to learn about different plants and even discover new ones. While on a trip, Jerry found a new plant. It was very peculiar. He had never seen a plant with such odd colors. The leaves were blue and yellow and the flowers were green. He wasn't sure if the plant was mature or not, but he couldn't find any similar plants to compare it to for age. On his way back to his campsite, Jerry discovered more of the strange plant. He collected a few more, but not too many. He did not want to reduce the amount of the plants in the wild. He couldn't wait to learn and find out more about his new discovery. All right, so let's first word here is asking us to find mature. And I remember reading that here in this second paragraph. And it said he wasn't sure if the plant was mature or not, but he couldn't find any similar plants to compare it to for age. I think the key word here in this sentence is going to be age. He couldn't find if the plant was mature or not, but he couldn't find any similar plants to compare it to for age. So your age, of course, is how old you are. So I can infer based on what I know about the word age that if your plant is mature, it's whether it's full grown, how old it is or not. So let's look at our choices, okay? Choice A says to shrink. Well, I don't think your age has anything to do with shrinking. Hopefully you're not shrinking. Oh, fully grown is kind of what we just discussed. He wasn't sure if the plant was fully grown or not, but he couldn't find any similar plants to compare it to for age. That makes sense, so let's keep that one. And then C says to act like a baby. He wasn't sure if the plant was acting like a baby or not. I don't think that makes sense. So our correct one for this one is B. All right, switching now to blue. It's asking us about the word peculiar. Peculiar, I love that word. So that it also is in the second paragraph. It said it was very peculiar. Okay, I'm gonna go to the sentence right above it since there's only one, and let's read it. While on a trip, Jerry found a new plant. It was very peculiar. Keep reading. He had never seen a plant with such odd colors. So, kind of key words he's using to describe this plant. He's saying that it's new. It kind of looks odd. He's never seen a plant like this before. So based on what I know about things being new and odd and different and things I've never seen before, I can infer that peculiar means it's kind of different, kind of strange. I'm not real sure what it is. So let's look at our choices. Choice A says to look like a pelican. That's those birds that have the, like from Finding Nemo, that have the big scoop necks that go and eat up all the food. I don't think that a plant would be described as looking like a pelican. That's kind of a silly choice. So we're going to cross that one out. Now, B says ordinary. Ordinary means normal, not unusual, something you would expect. But he's described this as new and odd and something he's never seen before. So I don't think this means ordinary. So that leaves us with C, which says very strange. If something is new and odd, you've never seen it before, you might describe it as peculiar or very strange. All right, last one. And again, I don't have a yellow, so I'm going to use green. It's asking us, what does the word reduce mean in the story? Reduce. All right, that was here in the third paragraph. It says he did not want to reduce the amount of the plants in the wild. Okay, so it says, let's go to the sentence right before that. It says he collected a few more, but not too many. So that means he took some, but not a ton, because he didn't want to reduce the amount of plants in the wild. This next sentence, he couldn't wait to find out more about his discovery. That doesn't really help me much with this. So he's discovered this plant. He's collected or taking a few with him. Here's the key, but not too many. So if he doesn't want to take too many of the plants, he doesn't want to collect a lot of them, that probably means that he doesn't, if it means he does not want to reduce the amount, he doesn't want to take away from them. He wants to make sure there's still plenty out in the wild for other people to discover. So A says to make smaller. He did not want to make smaller the amount of plants in the wild. If you reduce how many sodas you drink, or you reduce how much candy you eat, you're making the amount that you eat or drink smaller. So I think it could be A. B says not good anymore. He did not want to not good anymore the amount of plants in the wild. I don't think him not taking too many has anything to do with them not being good anymore. And then to make bigger means the opposite of to make smaller. He did not want to make bigger the amount of plants in the wild. Well, it says he's collecting them, so he's taking them with him. So I don't think that would be making them bigger unless he was planting some. So A would be your choice there. A couple of cool words that I liked in the story also would be like botanist. That was a really interesting word. Discovered, discovery. Those were some good words in there too that you could have added down to this bottom section. All right, so let's put that away and go ahead and be getting that math stuff out for today. All right, so just a reminder that after we finish our little comprehension page for the day. You have a study island assignment and your active assignments from your teacher. Today is day 7 of your packet. So you'll get on study island and complete ELA day 7 in your active assignments. All right, let's go ahead and get this math sheet out, and we're going to be working module 7, lesson 20. So hopefully you've unlocked lesson 20 so we can go through it together right now. All right, so just your fast facts real quick. We've got 1, 8, and 3 for you to check. 11, 18, 13. These got hard over here. 21, 28, and 23. All right, I am excited about some word problems. I love some math word problems. I like looking for clues to see which operation we're going to use, putting those clues together to solve the problem. All right, so number 1, real quick, I'm going to take a break and make sure we're still recording. Yep. All right, number 1 says Jacqueline has built 78 yards of her 100-yard fence. How many more yards does she have to build? All right, keywords. How many more? Remember, how many more? Subtraction. So I know that I'm going to be subtracting here. Now, the total or whole number of the fence that she's building is 100 yards. And she's already built 78 of them. So we've got to figure out this unknown number of how much she has left to build. So we're going to do 100 minus 78. Now, you could count, add on from 78 to 100 if you wanted to do that as well, because it is a little tricky to subtract across these zeros. Because we have more on floor, but when I go next door, there's nothing there either. So I've actually got to go all the way over to my hundreds place, make that a 0, making this 0 a 10, and then I can turn my ones place 0 into a 10, but I've got to remember to make that 10 a 9. It's a little tricky, but with practice, you'll get it. 10 minus 8 equals 2. 9 minus 7 also equals 2, and then there's nothing left to subtract here. So my answer is 22. And of course, if I plugged in 22 over here, and I did 22 plus 78, I would get my whole, or my total, which is 100. All right? Now, Lily has a piece of ribbon that is 1 yard long. She cuts off 12 inches. How many inches are left? Okay? Well, really quickly, let's review how many inches are in a yard. Just 1 second. All right, because they gave us 12 inches. So 1 yard is actually 36 inches. Another way that we could think about that, if we take 36, 12, yes. Okay, just double checking before I tell you this. 1 yard, so a yardstick, or about the width of the door, the height of the iPad cart, is the same thing as 3 rulers or 3 feet, okay? So 3 rulers or 3 feet. What do we know about 12 inches? When you hear 12 inches, what comes to your mind? What comes to my mind when I hear a ruler, 1 inch, 12 inches is 1 foot or 1 ruler. 1 foot and 1 ruler are the same. This is 1 foot, this is 1 ruler. Now a yardstick, 1 piece of ribbon that's a yard long would be 3 of these. So if I take away 2 of these, now it's asking me inches, not feet. If I took away 1 of these from the 3, or 12 inches, I would be left with 2, sorry. It'd help if I spelled that right, huh? It would, if I took away 1 or 12 inches, I would be left with 2 rulers, which would be 12 inches plus 12 inches, which would be 24 inches left. Because a yard to start with is 36 inches, but I'm taking away 12 to give me 24. All right? We've got 2 more. Had to review my units of measurement real quick. That's all right. Let's go ahead and do those last 2 math problems. I've got my computer in a weird spot today. All right, last 2. It says Conrad has 32 inches of brown rope and 28 inches of red rope. How many inches of rope does he have? Keywords, in all. In all, I'm trying to find all the total all together. I'm going to be adding on this one. So in all means that I'm going to add. So I'm going to add up my 32 inches of brown rope plus my 28 inches of red rope. Let's start with my ones. Remember, we always start with our ones. 2 plus 8 gives me 10. I'm going to drop the 0 from my ones place, and I'm going to regroup my 1 from my tens place. 1 plus 3 gives me 4. 4 plus 2 gives me 6. So he has 60 inches of rope all together. All right, last one. Kyle. Oh, I know Kyle. Kyle has a 57. Oh, if you're in my class, you know how Miss Jersky feels about snakes. 57-inch green snake. Yeah. And a black snake. He has 2 snakes. And a black snake that is 13 inches shorter. How long is a black snake? So, what do I know right now? Green snake is 57 inches. I might have to change this in my mind to green, like flowers or something, so it's less scary. The green snake is 57. Now, the black snake, I don't know how long it is. That's what they're asking me to find out. But the black snake is 13 inches shorter or less. Shorter means less. So I know that the black snake being shorter or less number is going to be smaller than the green one. So I can take my green number, subtract the 13 inches less that it said. 7 minus 3 is 5. Oh, sorry, nope. Sorry about that. 4. And then 5 minus 1 is also 4. So the black snake is gross and 44 inches long. A lot of people have to use snakes for word problems. I'm not a fan. Not a fan of snakes. All right, so last 2 things to go over real quick. We just completed Module 7, Lesson 20 together. So you will get on Zearn and complete Lesson 20's work so that you can unlock Lesson 21, which is what we'll discuss tomorrow. And then last thing is to hop on Study Island. You're going to go to your active assignments to complete Math Day 7. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of the day. Don't forget there's extra work in the back of your packet too, which you could always do as a little enrichment time or something for extra practice. There's some good passages and coin work on there that will be really good review for everyone. Have a great day.